We have approximately 9 months in hand for the NLSAT examination that is conducted for NLS Bangalore, one of the most prestigious examinations for 3-year LLB. Now, in these 9 months, ये जो 9 months का period है हमारे पास, इसमें what are the skills that we need for this examination, how to go about preparing for this examination, how to acquire those skills, paper pattern, eligibility, seats, all these things we are going to discuss in this video. Hi guys, I'm Ayushi, your mentor for law-based examinations, and welcome to Law Digest. Let us first have a look at the skills that you really need for this examination. These are the skills that you require for this examination. Now, I feel that this is a skill-based examination because यहाँ पर क्या है, बहुत सारा कुछ आपको याद करने को नहीं है. It's more about your analytical reasoning, how you read things, how you read closely, how are you able to infer things. This exam relates to all these things. We will come to these skills later. First of all, let us have a look at the eligibility, paper pattern, and the syllabus to understand these skills better. So for the eligibility, the criteria is that you should have minimum of 45% marks if you're from the general category in what? In your bachelor's degree. Now, bachelor's degree can be in any field. Science, commerce, arts, you can be from any course, just that your college or university needs to be recognized. People from School of Open Learning also are eligible to apply for this examination because ऐसे बहुत से students पूछते हैं कि हम open university से हैं, so are we eligible? Yes, you are eligible. Just that your college should have proper accreditation. Then SC, ST, OBC, अगर आप इन categories में से हो, then you need minimum 40% marks in your graduation. Further, your degree that's required, because sometimes what happens is that this examination normally happens in the month of April, and there are students जिनके exams जो हैं they get conducted in May or June, and they have a difficulty in furnishing the result. So for that proof, the university is ready to wait till the end of the year. So by 31st December, as they've mentioned in their 2023 notification, that by this time you can furnish your degree. Let us move forward and have a look at the seats and the pattern. Total capacity that is required is 120. So this exam is basically divided into part A and part B. Now what happens is that not everybody's part B gets checked. People who qualify in part A, only they will go ahead and their part B will be checked. Now, since the seats are 120 and the ratio is 1:5, so what happens is that if we multiply this by 5, we have about 600 candidates. So it is only for the 600 candidates whose part B will be judged. So you have to do a holistic preparation. दोनों part A, part B, दोनों पे ही आपको focus करना होगा. Now here, as I said, part A, part B, and the examination is of 150 minutes. And you have to attempt both these parts in 150 minutes. There is no sectional timing as such. Let us look at the syllabus once. Part A will have your MCQs, which will be of 75 marks. And these MCQs will relate to comprehension, current affairs, and critical reasoning. So as I mentioned earlier, that reading ability, analytical skills, all these things come handy. These skills come handy for this examination, and you will have 0.25 marks negative marking also. And for unanswered questions also, you will have deduction of 0.25. So in any case, you will have to answer in the paper. Now, this list will be prepared, as I said earlier, a list will be prepared on the basis of performance here, and then they will move to part B. What else is the criteria? That you need to have more than 0 marks, obviously. Then you should not have negative marking. Then candidates should secure above 75th percentile from the general category. If you're from the reserved category, then this is 50%. तो अगर जो highest आए हैं जिस student के, उससे आपके जो marks हैं, वो at least 75th percentile तक meet करने चाहिए to be eligible to get your copies checked for part B. Then, as I said earlier, it is evaluated in the ratio of 1:5. So there are 5 students contesting for 1 seat. Then let's look at the pattern for part B. For part B, you have subjective questions. So part A has objective, this has subjective questions, maximum 75 marks. And what is required out of you? Legal aptitude and reasoning. So there'll be 6 questions of 10 mark each on this. Initially, when this examination had come, this was, they had 10 questions at that time. Now they've reduced it to 6 because the paper gets lengthy. How many words you are expected to write? 300 to 350 words. And what will it have? It will have problem-based situations. So basically you will have case studies wherein a situation, a problem is given to you, and you have to answer it well in those 300 to 350 words. You have to think of arguments. You have to rationally think what can be the answer. So there is no one particular answer for such questions. You have to think about it and then write that answer. Then there will be an essay. Now this essay is not based on current affairs. What they do is they will give you any abstract topic. It is not, initially what happened was this essay was also based on current affairs only. Now what they do is that they give you a situation, that this is the situation, and considering that situation you need to give your response from both the sides. And it is not necessarily required that you quote about the facts on that issue, or you tell about any current affair item that is present, about anything, कुछ भी आपको न्यूज में आपने पढ़ा है, इस essay में वो आपको डालने की जरूरत नहीं है, because this essay is based on your analytical reasoning. How you can reason your answer out, that is important here. And this essay will be of 500 words. You are required to answer it in 500 words, and 15 marks will be allotted to this essay. Now your merit will be prepared on the basis of your marks in part A and part B, after which you shall be referred for admission. You've already understood the pattern, part A, part B. What is required is you required reading speed, because there will be long passages. You need to study them in that given 150 minutes of time that you have. And ideally what happens is that you divide your time. Those 150 minutes are divided further into say 80 minutes and 70 minutes. 70 minutes you keep for your part A, because part B is subjective and you need to write. So in fact, your reading and writing speed needs to be good. You have 9 months in hand. अच्छे से start reading a lot of things. Read articles, read newspapers. Newspapers is very important, especially the editorial section. You can pick up Hindu or Indian Express and read the editorial section. Now, when you read that editorial section, what you have to do? You have to read closely. You have to understand what the author is trying to say. You have to question what the author is trying to say further. You have to also think of arguments that if the author is in favor of, for say, the issue is about homosexuality, and the author is saying that yes, we should, decriminalize it, although, 377 has already decriminalized it, but considering other situations like same-sex marriages and these things, then it should be allowed, things like this. The author has a very liberal view. But, in these part A questions, you might be expected something else, that they may ask you that which of the following will weaken the stand of the author in this regard. Then you have to develop that skill that you are able to argue with the author in your head, or take a notebook. You have to create arguments in your head that no, the author is wrong here. This can be a strong point, and this can hit at the argument that has been raised by the author. So that reading closely and analytical ability is both required here. Reading closely, why? Because when you read the passages, you don't have a lot of time. Further, there are small meanings that are hidden in every line. So it won't be a very straight passage. The writing will be such that you will have to think about it, that what exactly the author is trying to say. So those things are important, that practice is important. So you need to practice a lot of reading comprehension passages. At this juncture, I'd like to tell you that I already am running a module on NLSAT. आप वो देख सकते हो, मेरी website पे available है. वहां पर what I'm providing you to you is that I'm providing you with part A and part B content both, and there'll be a lot of passages there. There'll be part B case studies. There are more than 85 case studies available for you to practice. We keep uploading essays as well. Then legal current affairs. Current affairs is also a part of that module. We have videos on vocabulary as well. So all those things are given in the module. You can check on the website www.lawdigest.in. Now further, as I said, analytical reasoning abilities. This is required for your part A as well and part B as well. Because in part A, you will have to interpret what the author is trying to say, because eventually as a law student, when you go ahead, you become a lawyer, or you join judiciary, you have to interpret the law. So that ability is something that you need to develop from start right now itself if you want to sit for this examination, because the same thing is checked here as well. So आपको इंटरप्रेट करना आना चाहिए कि ऑथर क्या बोल रहा है, क्या what is he trying to make sense of. And I also have videos of part A and part B essay writing, that how to go about these questions. I have certain videos in the NLSAT playlist. You can check that. It's very important. You'll get a lot of guidance from there as well, that how are you supposed to attempt these questions. Then you have to structure your answers, because what happens is generally, this is for part B, you have to write an essay, you have to write the answer for case studies. When we think of certain things, there are a lot of points that come to our head and we just blindly keep writing them. बट हियर व्हाट दे आर चेकिंग आउट ऑफ यू इज कि आपने उसको स्ट्रक्चर कितना अच्छे से करा है. सो दैट स्ट्रक्चरिंग इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन दिस एग्जामिनेशन. यू हैव टू ऑर्गेनाइज दोज थॉट्स इन दैट पीस ऑफ पेपर. दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Yes, this examination is going to take place in the pen paper mode, just in case that query came to your head. So organizing and structuring answers is important. वो कैसे skill acquire करेंगे हम? Practice से ही होगा वो. The more you write, the better it is. If you read something in the newspaper, you pick that topic up and try to write and reason out things from both the sides. You pick certain case studies. Some of the case studies I've shared on YouTube as well in my videos. You can check those. Start with them. कि आप दोनों साइड को लेके अपना आर्ग्यूमेंट बना पा रहे हो या नहीं. इन द सब्जेक्टिव आंसर केस स्टडीज यू हैव टू राइट फ्रॉम वन साइड. इन द एसे what you have to do is you have to write predominantly from one side, but at the same time आपको ये कोशिश करनी है to show that why the other side fails. So you have to write about the other side as well. Now awareness of current and legal issues is another important skill that you need to have. You need to follow current affairs daily. I would not really advise you that you make notes out of newspaper because that will take a hell lot of time, and it's really not possible for a student to understand that what current affairs is important for me. We can discuss this separately in another video. What I'll do is I'll discuss all these skills again separately with the help of a question. We can pick up a question and we can decide that how do these skills actually come into play. Here I want to just give you an overview about this examination and these skills. So यहाँ पर current affairs, legal issues में आप डेली आपको करंट अफेयर, मंथली करंट अफेयर्स जो भी ये आपको कवर करने हैं फ्रॉम वट एवर सोर्स यू आर कंफर्टेबल विद. देयर आर ऑनलाइन कंपेंडियम्स ऑल्सो अवेलेबल. यू कैन चेक दोज. इफ नॉट दोज न्यूज पेपर नोट्स, यू कैन चेक. Then in the module that I'm providing, these are already there. So that will come handy to you alongside legal current affairs, meaning any important judgments, constitutional debates keep happening. So in the part A passages, you can be asked questions out of there, or the passage might be based on something which has been in news. So those kind of articles can be picked up. They can be general articles also. So I would say that apart from newspaper, you also read some novels and read general articles on any issue. 2023 का पेपर भी मैं डिस्कस कर चुकी हूँ. I've discussed the whole paper on YouTube. You can check that and understand from there also that how to go about the questions in this examination. And this is what I wanted to tell you, that these are the skills. You have 9 months in hand. We can deliberate further on this. We can have a detailed timetable and understand that how should we actually go about preparing for this examination in the next 9 months. Now just in case अभी तक जो भी मैंने आपको बताया है, whatever I've told you, in case you have any queries, you are not able to understand the structure of the examination, or any other query that might come up to your head which might not have been addressed in this video, you can post the same down in the comment box below. And if you want to get in touch with me, then there are links of my different social media platforms. वो इस video के description में आपको मिल जाएंगे. Further, if you're looking for the module, then you can check my website www.lawdigest.in for more such videos on NLSAT or any other examination, your legal career, any guidance you need. Make sure that you are following the channel, you subscribe to the channel, and also follow us on Instagram because this legal issue part gets addressed there.